So it's been a long 10 days. It's the end of the judging. The jury has come to a point where we made the decision to go with a different sort of image, a more contemplative, issue-driven image. I think the long-term projects is a very promising category. Uh, we had 510 entries as the first time World Press is using that. And I think that it's going to be a great category. For the first one, 510, it's impressive. You'd be surprised about the diversity of the projects people personally work on. I think it's a category that will allow for personal interpretive work. It's very hard to judge because you really need to see everything, read everything before you make any kinds of judgments. And there's some great stories out there. First place spot news is a picture of a protester in Turkey. She is every woman, every man who protests and clashes this most recent years. Her eyes follow you wherever you go. One of the jurors noted, it is an arresting protest picture, one that is iconic. The jury felt that it would stop you immediately. It stopped them all. We found it very, very powerful for her eyes to be confronting you. She was totally right there, and very close. There is a picture out of Ukraine, sort of a still life table with fruit, a knife, and then you see a draped curtain and everything wrecked. It's obvious like some bomb, maybe, and some explosion happened, and you see blood on the curtains. It's subtle, but you have to look, and you have to keep looking. It is again, a story that is told through a very, very subtle interpretation, but very powerful. You see, it has a painterly quality, which at first is a little disconcerting until you start to look closer and you see more and more into the image. It becomes very human. You see the wrecked family in it, even though there is not any humanity to be seen. But it's all elements of what a family would have in a kitchen. Where are they? You don't know, but you feel them. The power of the MH17 picture lies in the fact that you have to really take a little time to go find the passenger lying still in a seat on the ground. It is horrific to look at, but this is a very subtle interpretation of a tragedy that is so scary for anybody to look at. Every passenger can imagine being in that situation. It is a news picture that has beauty, even in the middle of this amazing, horrible tragedy. The picture of the ant from the Nature series is from a story called Mind Suckers. It's incredible to see these parasites destroy the minds of their hosts. This picture shows an ant being rained on by spores who then kill the ant and get the ant to move onto a tree or where it'll die. At that point, more spores go all over the ant, and then it happens again. Just look at this picture, and you have to admire the technique. It is truly amazing. This is in a petri dish somewhere in a lab. Stunning. I think these pictures hit on all the elements I talked about: historical, psychological, sociological, and aesthetic. And I think that is the best of what photojournalism is.